Joining me now, Steve Hilton, host of The Next Revolution on Fox News, the Daily California podcast host. I'm going to shut up and let you talk, because I know we could talk for hours just about that one phrase that he uttered.
Exactly. So much more. I mean, where does it end? Look, this is the other day, unbelievably. We get used to these now, but he literally said that he ran for president because he wanted to fight inflation. There wasn't inflation when he jumped into the race. He caused the inflation. He and his policies and the Democrats in Congress, they caused all this. They caused it exactly as you say, with all this spending. They caused it with the war on energy from day one, because a huge component of industry's costs is energy. So if you attack our own energy production, raise the price, that's going to raise the price of everything across the economy. He caused the inflation, of course, with the stay-at-home payments, which means that still, even though they tout this low unemployment number, we have the lowest labor participation for around 45 years. And so people can't find workers. That puts the price of everything up. Everything they've done has made inflation worse. So it's just a joke for him to go out there. But they still say it. They still call it the Inflation Reduction Act. There's no shame for these people. They're going to keep saying this, even though everyone can see that they caused the problem.
So this infrastructure bill was passed late when inflation was already close to 7%, and only about 1/10 of it is reserved for what we would consider traditional infrastructure. Oh, and by the way, speaking about the war on fossil fuel, asphalt comes from oil. What do you use in roads? Asphalt, with emphasis on ass. But I have to ask you this, Steve. Part of the problem is Republicans. So I don't want to overlook this. In this infrastructure bill, just like the semiconductor blowout, there were 13 Republican congressmen and 19 Republican senators that voted for it.
Well, that's right. And thereby giving Biden the ability to say, oh, it's bipartisan. He was basically the only thing they had any kind of mandate for at all was this pledge to bring people together, to do unity for the nation. He's been totally divisive on everything. The only tiny thing he can point to where he hasn't been divisive is this infrastructure thing that, right, as you say, the Republicans joined him in passing. The whole thing is, and for what? To fuel inflation, probably to get some things for their districts in the usual time-honored, right, corrupt fashion.
It's true. I interviewed one New York congressman, who I won't name, who voted for this infrastructure plan, and he was quite taken aback that I dare ask him about it. And it was clearly, because for his own district, but he was like, exactly, didn't want to answer any questions about it. But the Democrats have been behind this, this runaway inflation. And Moody's came out with this, that inflation's causing households to spend $445 more per month than a year ago for the same basket of goods. And at the same time, we now have major CEOs far and wide, and you can take a look at some of them. The CEO of Goldman Sachs, Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, James Gorman, Jane Fraser of Citigroup, and Brian Moynihan of Bank of America, along with warnings from Jeff Bezos at Amazon. They're all warning about a recession. So we have 40-year high inflation, a recession, and now what? Even if the Republicans take the House and or the Senate.
Yeah, and don't forget the interest rates, because you get the inflation. They hit you with that, as you say, with the extra cost for the household. Then, to deal with the inflation, we've got the high interest rates. It was reported just last week that the average mortgage payment has gone up for Americans by $900 a month in the last year. $900 a month. That is huge. And so they hit you with the inflation, with the interest rates to pay for it, and then the recession follows. It is a total economic disaster.
And in terms of auto lending, I read from one auto lender that people, because they were taking out very long-term loans because cars had gotten so expensive, they were just handing the keys in, just giving the keys back. And then comes housing, where eventually people just hand their keys back to the mortgage lender. I'm so glad that you're here today, of all days, because this does dovetail with what's going on here in the United States, where the Prime Minister in Great Britain, Liz Truss, announcing her resignation, 6 weeks in office, the shortest tenure for a prime minister in British history. And you read about what happened, and it's kind of part of the story, Steve, that they talk about that it just blew up in her face, the bond market collapsed, the Bank of England had to intervene when she announced plans to cut taxes. That's not the whole story. It's not just her plan that somehow got Great Britain into this deep financial mess with 10% inflation and a recession.
That's exactly right. Look, for years now, more than a decade actually, you've had really irresponsible financial schemes, risky schemes being undertaken, particularly by the UK's pension funds, based on the assumption that you're going to have low interest rates forever and they can get away with this kind of financial engineering. Then, because of the inflation, driven by very many of the same factors as we see here, excess spending, particularly for the pandemic. And let's remember why we have the excess spending in the pandemic, for these stupid lockdowns that were totally unjustified by the science and should never have happened. It was even worse in the UK. So that cost them a huge amount of spending, fueled inflation, interest rates go up, all the risky schemes of the pension funds in the UK now exposed, and then you have all the ingredients for a financial collapse. Her plan that she announced just a couple of weeks ago that precipitated the political crisis, the basics of that plan were absolutely correct. The only long-term future for the UK outside of the EU is to take advantage of that, being outside the EU, taking advantage of Brexit, cutting regulations, cutting taxes, a pro-growth agenda. That was the correct prescription for the UK, but the implementation of it was unprofessional. It was a disaster. And that's, I think, why it took everyone by surprise and prompted this panic in the markets, and everything unraveled.
And as the Wall Street Journal pointed out, do not forget the Bank of England chief, Andrew Bailey.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Who
exactly
politicized the British central bank and really, added to this fiasco and really kind of targeted Liz Truss. I think the British phrase is it done up like a kipper?
Yeah, something like that, exactly.
I hope that's not
a lot of
filthy.
Kind of food and not really. The most filthy we've seen, if anyone's seen it, they should check it out, is the German news report of what was happening in the House of Parliament last night. Where she, because she was broadcasting in German, she actually found herself able to use the actual language that was used by the Conservative chief whip and deputy whip, expressing their frustration. Words that we can't use here in this moment, Dagan, but someone should check that out as well. Very amusing.
Yeah, I lived in Britain for a while, so I recall that. But Steve, one final thing I just want to add, that what happened in Britain is a warning shot for what happened here. Not politically, but financially. And it's that the bond market will no longer tolerate policies that lead to excessive borrowing, more bond issuance, and net deficits. That it's a nightmare that will blow up in a country's face. And the Democrats are on that road.
Exactly. This is really the death of what was fashionable for a few years, this idea of this modern monetary theory. You could just print money, be totally fine. The sums that were pushed out during the pandemic to trillions of dollars, absolutely astonishing, with no concern as to what this would do for our financial stability. We are yet to see all those consequences here in America. And it all goes back to the reckless shutdowns where they thought, yeah, we can shut down the economy and use taxpayer money to bail everyone out. Well, it turns out that was wrong on both counts. The shutdown was unjustified, and the bailouts, we're going to be paying for that and living with the consequences for many years to come.
And our central bank and central banks around the globe, they created a housing bubble, they created an asset bubble, and now they take it away in every way. Steve, good to see you.
Thank you, Dagan. Good to see you.
Steve Hilton,